part of an anointed testimonial conference with teaching, prayer, and just what you need. Oh, look at that name. Pastor Mary Hope will host this testimonial conference on Friday and Saturday, March 15th and 16th of 2024 at 5 p.m. and the final event on Sunday, March 17th at 2:30 p.m. It's all about Jesus and Me Teaching Ministry Incorporated. Come and get what you need to face the cancer enemy. Don't miss your vessel of encouragement. Join special guest minister, Evangelist Tahara, a dance ministry leader, founder of Unique Love Ministries, and lead presenter for Moms in Ministry Outreach Workshop. Join us at 322 North 10th Street, Palatka, Florida. Let's get grounded and encouraged through the inspirational scriptures, Psalms 107 and 20, John 11, 4 through 15, and Exodus 15 and 26, and John 10, 10, with the promise to have life more abundantly. Don't miss this unique presentation. Come and hear special guest presenters, Elder Gunny Williams Jr. and Evangelist Iris D. Miller Williams, Pastor Dr. Grace Miller, Overseer, Apostle Faith Church of Deliverance Incorporated, Fort Pierce, Florida. Join us at 322 North 10th Street, Palatka, Florida. Phone number 904-334-8849. For prayer, vendor registration, and seating, call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. Don't miss your blessing. Don't live with regrets. Be there, my sisters and brothers. Phone number 904-334-8849. That's 904-334-8849.
Yep, we want you to join us in Palatka, Florida. All right, Brother C-Dub, come on back in here. And your first guest is Terrence, and he is here waiting. Before I bring him on camera, you want to tell us a little bit about him?
That's the boy. We got lost, kind of lost contact over the years. But I mean, it just how life is. But I met him a while ago. He's actually a Christian artist himself out of Jacksonville, Florida, and we actually connected when I did the event in Jacksonville, and we kind of stayed in contact over the years ever since. But awesome dude, awesome brother, awesome music. And honestly, I'm excited because this is the first time that we actually chopped it up, I think, in a couple of years, honestly. So, yeah.
All right, Brother Terrence. Looking forward to meeting you. Hey.
Hey, how y'all doing?
It's good to meet you.
Same to you, man. Dub, how you doing, man? It's been a minute.
Long overdue.
Yes, sir. Indeed. I'm excited to be on the show. Now, thank you for you guys for the opportunity to have me on here, man.
Most definitely, man. So, kind of like how I told you before, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of, tell them, kind of like who you is, tell them a little bit about, what it is you do, and, you know what I'm saying, whatever other information you want to share with the people.
Gotcha. So, just to elaborate a little bit, my name is Terrence Horne, also known as you see at the bottom of the screen, T-Horne the Uncle. I've been a Christian and positive rapper for a couple of years now, ever since I say like 2013. I took a bit of a break. I'm focused on being a husband and being a father and my career, working with youth and stuff like that and everything. But I'm back on it, spitting rhymes, writing music and stuff like that and everything. And actually, fun fact, in Jacksonville, Florida, we got an event coming up in the Murray Hill Theater to raise money for Roy, reaching our youth. And we're trying to build a transition center and raise money for some of our boys who are in trouble. They have a place to go after they've done their time, and just give them a chance to get back to reality and be on a good foot. So we're doing a concert at the Murray Hill Theater on March 30th to raise money for that. If anybody wants to come out, reach out to me for tickets and stuff like that. That's my link at the bottom of the screen. But besides that, I'm just a humble dude trying to do whatever good I can in the positive, most uncool way possible.
Facts, man. So like I said, man, it's definitely a blessing to have you. Like I was saying in the intro, man, it's been a couple of years since we actually really like chopped it up. I don't even remember the last time, honestly. It's been a minute, but it's long overdue though. So I'm definitely excited to have you, bro.
Of course. I'm glad to be here.
I wanted
to go ahead.
What you were saying, I didn't. You kind of.
No, go ahead. Continue. No, go ahead. Continue. It was a little bit delayed, but we got it.
Oh no, I was about to say. I wanted to kind of I mean, with the Sundance stuff. So I want to finish this Sunday off. Last Sunday we kind of was discussing, the power of forgiveness and reconciliation between parents and kids, or if you have issues with your parents or kids in general. So like growing up, like how was it, what I'm saying, like with you, like in your parents, like was it, did you have both parents in your home, or did single parent home, or how did that go for you?
Well, I grew up with both parents in the home. I was lucky enough to have that, unlike most people and everything. But just because you have both parents in the home doesn't always mean the dynamic is very great. Now, granted, my parents were both great people, but my dad was a pastor and a truck driver at the same time. So he was basically gone through the week. And the only time he was ever home was me just coming home from work. And what I saw, my vision of him growing up was basically, okay, you're a provider and you're the authority figure. That's it. We didn't really have those, bonding times as dad and son and everything like that. And we spent a lot of time clashing. And I was a lot closer to my mother. So there's a lot of times my dad had his dad in his life too, but they weren't close to the point where my dad didn't live with his dad. So when it came to him fathering me, it's like, okay, my dad wasn't here to do this. So I'm basically just going off of what I know, what I'm saying, trying to do my best at it. So my dad was very, kind of hard and, wanted me to play sports and do this and be a man. And I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of a sensitive kid growing up, what I'm saying? So I didn't really build a good relationship with my father until I became an adult. And I started realizing, okay, you did the things you did and were hard as me as you were because you wanted me to really be a man and really step up so I could actually be a good husband and raise my kids the right way. So just because you have both parents in your life doesn't mean like everything's like A-okay. You got this peachy life, what I'm saying? We go through hard times too, what I'm saying? Having those kids that got both parents in the home.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I mean, I didn't have neither one, my mom was murdered and my daddy wasn't there, so I ain't get that. I ain't get that dynamic. But I mean, you said a mouthful, man. Like just because even if you do grow up with that household, like doesn't mean that it's all sunshine and rainbows and everything is all good. And you talked about like your daddy being like gone, on the road doing like truck driving and stuff like that. Like, did that like affect y'all relationship? What I'm saying? Like any, like, or was it kind of like, hey, I understand he got to go out on the road and, get the money for the household. So I understand he cannot be there. Or was it kind of like a different outlook?
Well, actually, it was kind of both. It was both because I understood that, okay, my dad has to work because my mom, she did hair and stuff. But, my dad was the main breadwinner. So everything that happened, everything we had, everything, every, pair of clothing, food, the house, the shelter, everything, we knew it came from him and we knew we wouldn't have it without him. So I understood the dynamic of, okay, my dad has to go and work, and I respected that. It kind of ended up making me kind of the way I am, where it made me understand that, like the Bible says, a man that work don't eat, man don't work don't eat. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta get out there and get it, especially take care of your wife, take care of your kids. You gotta take care of your family and stuff like that. But at the same time, there was this dynamic of me and my dad not having that close bond or relationship. Like my dad, he was into sports, played football, stuff like that and everything, and expected me to do the same things. As a kid, I was more into the art and the music and, things like that, the entertainment and stuff like that. So he wouldn't really be, I guess, all into it or all, interested in stuff like that. But when I get in the football field, he's pushing me. I'm like, yo, I don't want to do this. That's not where it's at. So the dynamic was, we don't know each other. And though, because my name is T-Horne Jr., as you see on the screen, so I'm his junior. But we couldn't be any more different. You know what I'm saying? So trying to him coming home after working all week and being gone and stuff like that, then trying to understand me, and I'm nothing like him growing up. It's like, well, dang, like we just stand at each other like, okay, what's supposed to happen? You know what I'm saying?
That, man, that's something that I think about though. That kind of like how you talked about, because I think like that's kind of like a big fear of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like if anybody who knows me or who watches me, man, I be grinding, bro. Like I'll be having a lot like on my plate between, I still do the fire department stuff. I still do the music stuff, and then I'm heavily involved at my job. So sometimes, man, like I'll be going a couple days at a time or whatever. But I always have to sit back, man, and like think like how much of an impact like this is going to have on my kids. Like, is the money really worth, losing out time on like my kids, and my family and stuff like that? So, to kind of hear you talk about, what I'm saying, that dynamic with your dad and him not being there, dude, like it's a tough one, man, because I don't know if you ever heard that saying by like TD Jakes. It was like I guess it was like a reel that he came out with. He was like, it's hard for a man because either, I'm gonna give all of my time to the family and not have any money, or work all the time and not have time, for the money. I think I don't know if I even said that right, but I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if you've seen that reel, but like for you, with some of the stuff that you learn, like from your dad, like how does that help you now? With being a father yourself, in the things that you do as a father, in the way that the angle or direction that you take to raise your kids.
Sometimes as people, we think we can only learn the good stuff from people. Like, let me just set the record straight. Me and my dad are great. We have a great relationship. He wasn't a bad parent. It was just, a time thing and everything. With that being said, I understood from watching my dad that, okay, you have to get out there and work. You have to provide for your household. You have to lead, things like that. You have to be the authority figure to, when kids are falling off their path, it's on you to get your kids back on the straight and narrow. I learned that from my dad and everything. But like I said, I think me and my dad's biggest issue growing up was time, and that, how can I say, I don't want to sound all lovey-dovey, but that's what it is, though, the lovey-dovey thing. My dad wasn't very lovey-dovey with me growing up. I knew he loved me, but he wasn't all lovey-dovey. So even though I learned the good stuff from my dad as far as being a provider, being an authority figure, taking care of home and stuff like that, I also took from what I missed and what I wanted as a kid and applied it to my kids today. So either way, whether it was good or bad, my dad was still teaching me. And it's to the point now I get my kids and I'm like Miles Morales' dad off Spider-Man, I'm like, tell me you love me and come here, give me a hug, and I'm kissing on him. My son, he's going on 13 this year, and he hates that I grab him for long periods of time and kiss his forehead and stuff like that. But I know on the inside, he's going to appreciate that when he get older because, even though we act like as kids, we didn't like that kind of stuff. Every kid wants that love and that touch and that caress and stuff like that. And that's one of the things my dad taught me, even though he wasn't there, as far as time, it made me want to implement more time with my kids, and implement more love with my kids, but also respecting and taking the principles he learned and applying those at the same time.
Hey, man, that finding that balance, it definitely is, because that's how, that's how I am with my kids, man. I try to show my kids love, before me and you chopped it up, my oldest, one of my oldest, he's like 14. We be joking a lot, and me and him got the whole little slap boxing thing going on. I had to show him this old man still got it,
Right, you got to show him sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. So, like I know you talked about like showing like the kids, like love, and I guess like you say kind of like the lovey-dovey thing. Like how do you? Or let's see the best way to answer this. Like how do you find that, that balance? Because, you definitely want to, you definitely want to love the kids, but also, balance and like, making sure like they're like the toughness part. Like, okay, like I'm going to give you enough love, to show you that I love you, but I'm also want to instill this toughness in you to let you know, like people can't like push you over and stuff like that. Like finding that balance, because some people might be like, me personally, I totally agree with it. But somebody might be like, oh well, too much of that might make make your child soft or whatever. Like in your mind, like how do you like? Is there a balance, or do you just kind of like, hey, I just want my kids to know that I love them. I don't really care about the other foolishness.
I think there is a balance, and it's crazy you keep using the word balance because one of the things I believe in more than anything is having proper balance in life. Like for example, I'm gonna use my oldest son Tyler for example. He's going on 13, and me and him we joke, we play, we slap box, like you say. We got a big love for comics and anime and art and stuff like that and everything. But my son knows there's a time to play, there's a time to love, but there's also a time to get serious. This may sound cliche, but there is so much power in the dad voice. The dad voice, like hey, we're joking around serious, but when you hit that certain baritone, that certain pitch, you're like, okay, that ain't playing no more. It's time to get real.
Yeah.
Because you can't have too much of anything. Too much of anything is bad. You can't give kids too much love because then you spoil them, but you can't be too tough on them because you run them away. So it's all about knowing those times of when it's time to be that cool, loving dad, but when it's time to put your foot down and be like, hey, all right, it's time to learn. It's time to be serious. I need you to follow this example. I need you to do what I say. Because what kids don't realize, and we probably realize when we were kids, we ask kids to do what we say because we're trying to teach them and prepare them for the world. Too much loving, too much spoiling ain't going to prepare them for the world. It's gonna make them soft, and as you know, as your generations goes on, this world gets worse and worse and worse. So you gotta have that proper balance and know when to be tough dad and when to be loving dad. And I pride myself on practicing and having perfect balance on that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask this question, man. I got a whole nother question for you, but somebody wants to know, what did your dad think of your rap ministry?
Okay, good question. So, like I said, my dad was more into sports and stuff like that. But one thing I didn't share is my dad is an awesome singer. Awesome singer. He sung in the church. Matter of fact, back in the day when he was in high school in his early 20s stuff, they had a little band, a little group and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sing with a lick. You know what I'm saying? I sound like two cats fighting when I sing. All right. But
Auto-tune, baby. Auto-tune.
Hey man, hey, that's why we're rappers. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, I've always been into poetry and art. So I wrote so much poetry, so much. Somebody one day was like, hey man, rapping ain't nothing but poetry, put the music. Why don't you put something in your poetry to music? So I started doing that. And that's when I started my ministry, being a gospel rap T-Horne Uncool and stuff like that. When I presented the idea to my dad, he was actually ecstatic about it because it was like, okay, he may not be singing, but he still got that musical gene from me. I think it kind of made him proud a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? And I was dabbling in music like he did when he was younger. So he's always been supportive. Even when I went through my stages of deciding that I want to do gospel rap, that I want to do regular conscious hip hop, stuff like that. No matter what I did, he's always been very supportive of what I was doing with the music.
Hey, that's what's up, though. Yeah, matter of fact, I don't even know if my dad ever got a chance to hear my music or not. That's a good thought. But anyway, so my other question is, going back to, we talked, kind of was talking about like the parenting thing. Like, how do you, like as a father, once you say, I don't care, I'm gonna use the word balance again, but find balance when it comes to, the worldly perception of how you should raise your kid and parenthood, vice versa, saying your thought process in your home of how you should raise your kids, because there's a lot of like, oh, you should whoop your kids, you should not whoop your kids, or you should do this and you should do that. There's so many different things out there. But as far as like what you've learned from your parents, the things that the world deems, parenting, and yourself, like, do you kind of like take a little bit of, both, like from the church, how your parents did it, and then, some of your own thoughts and practices, or is it just, whatever you feel is right? as a
Well,
parent?
In the church, when it comes to, I guess, raising your kids, one of the main verses they love to use is "spare the rod, spoil the child," right? Meaning, if the child does wrong, give that child a spanking. That's how people perceive it, I should say. But I believe I believe, how can I say this without sounding too facetious? Your interpretations about the Bible verses speak and have many meanings. What I mean by that is, spare the rod, spoil the child doesn't always mean your child is bad, give them a whooping. Yes, that means bring a consequence. Every consequence isn't beating your child. Some consequences are those harsh conversations. Some consequences are, taking away the punishment and stuff like that and everything. And sometimes life is the best teacher. So sometimes that consequence is like, okay, me sparing the rod, spoiling the child is me having to step back as a parent and let you see the consequences of your actions so you can understand and learn from this mistake. Do I believe in giving kids, spankings and stuff like that? Yes. Do I spank my kids all the time? No, because everything that happens doesn't require for a child to be spanked. If you're doing your job as a parent, your number of whipping and spanking that child should be very minimum, because you should be able to talk to your child, and your child should have a certain level of respect for you as the parent to say, hey, that's my parent. My parent said do this. I'm going to do what my parent says, not because I love them and respect them, but because I know for a fact they're trying to guide me in the right direction. And the talks I've had with them, how stern they've been with me, and not only that, the fact of how much they love me is showing me that even though they may come off kind of tough, they're saying it because they love me. Like, I can't think, like, this being open and honest. I have 6 children naturally, and then my wife has 3 children of her own. So I have 9 children to deal with. You don't know how many talks and conversations I have, but the talks and the conversations get through a lot better than putting the belt to a behind. Because when you're able to explain to a child in there and teach them how to go, that works a lot better.
Yeah. 100%, man. I used to be big on, because, man, I grew up in the old school, like Michael Jackson, Jackson 5 days. Like, my auntie would be like, hey, go get me that switch. Or she'll beat me with a belt, hit me with a shoe, you know what I'm saying? Whatever she can find. So once I became a parent, like, I was like, all right, you're going to do what I say, or you're going to get this belt. And you know what I'm saying? I do believe in the whoopings too. But like you said, you have to, there's a time and a place for everything. For me, nowadays, you really don't have to. I think on maybe the first time we did the podcast, we talked about now it's a whole different new age, right? Where, like, now I can take, my kid's phone, take the Xbox, take TV time away from them, and it's almost like, like you just told they behind up.
Yeah, that's a killer.
Hey, let me get that. Go read a book or something. So me, like, I try to, like, there's steps. Let's put it that way. Like, 1, we have conversation. 2, like, I'm taking something. And 3, we ain't gonna even talk about 3, but that behind, but so, like you said, man, like, I definitely feel like there's, there's steps, and sometimes it is hard to not get caught up in, what other people think, how you should, kids should be raised, and, and stuff like that, finding that balance. But, so I totally agree with you. Dang, she gonna put the "we'll be right back" thing in a moment. So anyway, but like I said, don't go nowhere. Because definitely after I chop it up with Khalif, man, I'm gonna get us all 3 on here. We're gonna have a big old man cave conversation, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, you listening to the Dads on Duty podcast, chopping up with my boy T-Horne, Terrence Horne. I don't even know what you go by. I'm just, I give AKAs, hashtag, so we'll be back. Yeah.
If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions. We invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. 50 to 60-minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483.
Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy T-Horne.
I'm that new breed.
And see what I am? It's something the world has never seen. And something the fake Christian can only dream.
I'm that new breed.
Yeah. It's just y'all something new. Not a stereotype.
I'm that new breed.
I'm rebuilt. Remade. Not fake.
I'm that
not
new breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. I'm that new breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. Descended from that old seed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. I'm that new breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. I'm hyped up on that true seed.
I wanna be new, wanna be repping the truth, wanna go hard in the booth. Wanna be sober with this when the angels they see me, they stopping to give us a loot. Not worried about loot, full like a stomach with food, not half like wearing one boot. I hear you saying, but you just be talking. I wanna be realer than you. Got a problem with your mind frame. Said a problem with your mind frame. Church-wise negativity, contradictions, you driving me insane. How you holy in the church, then Monday back in the world? You fake it, damn, these baby dolls, boy, nothing but a Barbie girl. Dang, pastor stealing money. Choir members funny. I ain't pointing fingers, but homie, I'm not a dummy. Then you sit around and judge me, acting like you above me. You can wear your Sunday's best, but your spirit's still ugly? What? Excuse me, won't follow your example. Nope. Don't want not even a sample. Nope. I'd rather be stepping high, being what God called me to be trampled. When these people see me, I want them to see God. I want them to see this new breed, not a fake, not a joke, a facade.
New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. Descended from that old seed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm hyped up on that true seed.
Some Christians is joke, but I ain't laughing. Y'all putting on the show, but I ain't clapping.
Hey, yo, what's a new breed, though? Inquiring minds would like to know. Tell us what's the reason for your flow. Put us up on game, stop playing, bro.
A new breed is someone of God, showing real love, showing real care. Them people that really live in him, not fake like the weave in your girl's hair. You looking like, boy, don't go there. My spirit, man, he been here. Some of y'all just playing wrong like rich men getting welfare. Not gonna catch me half-stepping, no, selling out, no, living fake. No. I'm no different on other days than I am on any given Sunday. This ain't no stereotype, no gimmick. Homeboy, this is my life. I ain't lukewarm, I'm super hot. I'm trying to be all the way right. Woo! Excuse me, won't follow your example. Don't want it, not even a sample. I'd rather be stepping high, being what God called me to be trampled. When these people see me, I want them to see God. I want them to see this new breed, not a fake, not a joke or facade.
New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, descended from that old seed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm hyped on that true seed. I'm that new breed.
Well, there we go. That's Woo. That's a good one. That's a good
It
one.
was good, man.
We're gonna have to listen to that some more on Mornings with Queen B. C-Dub. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Hey.
that's me, the Queen B, Angie B, and you know I'm buzzing. Thank you.
Man, I have a slew of talented brothers, man. They boy. Phew.
No, you got a slew of talented dads. That's what you got.
Hey,
That's what you got.
100%. Man,
I know
it is such a blessing. I love that song.
I know Brother Khalif is waiting, but I got a question that came in. I'll put it up on the screen. I don't know if you want to wait and introduce it to all, to all the guests at one time, but I'm still back here listening to New Breed.
Yeah, we'll when we get everybody in, I'll get you to put it back up, and then that way everybody can get a chance at.
Okay, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Are we allowed to experience and be introduced to Brother Khalif now, or is Brother Terrence coming back to tell us about New Breed?
I'm gonna get him to tell us about New Breed when he get back on. Trust me, that was gonna be my first thing. Hey, bro, tell us about this song.
Oh, I'm back on.
Yo, I already told you from the get-go when you first sent the song, bro. I was like, dude, you got you one with that track, bro. I don't listen to it on repeat about a couple times. So, you know what I'm saying? Real quick, man, tell us how that song came about, and you know what I'm saying, your thought process for making that song. And make sure you tell people where they can find it at if it's available. But I think you said it wasn't available, but
not yet. But so with New Breed, one thing about me when I write music, a lot of rappers they freestyle stuff and they come on top of the dome and stuff like that. I've never been that type. I always take my music very seriously and take time to write and articulate exactly what I'm feeling with my songs, so they can be heard, they can be relatable, they can be received. So I grew up in the church, basically my whole life. My dad was a pastor, my mom's an armor bearer, my uncle a deacon, the whole spill, you know what I'm saying? But what people see on the forefront when it comes to church ain't always what it is. There's a lot of drama, a lot of fakeness, a lot of stuff behind the church. And with me writing New Breed, I may not be perfect. I may not do all the right things. But one thing I want you to see when you see me, I want you to see somebody that's real and really long after God and really trying to live and be the best they could be. You know what I'm saying? No sugarcoating, no fakeness, no second double life, none like that. So when I seen all this going on in the church with people, I was like, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be new. I'm gonna be a new breed of what a Christian or a man of God is supposed to be. And when you see me, all you're gonna see is God. Whether you see me in my wrong, whether you see me in my right, you're gonna see God regardless. Because no matter if I'm wrong or right, this is real. This ain't no fake. This ain't no show. This is a real man after God's heart. That's basically all it was, man. You know what I'm saying? Want to be different from the traditional Christian or the organization we call Christianity. I just want to be real all the way, and after God's heart.
Hey, man, facts, man. I love that song, and I definitely can't wait till you actually drop it. And you said that 100, man, because with all the drama, man, kind of like you talked about, like all the drama that's going on, man, you got the William Murphy stuff, you got the TD Jake stuff. I mean, you got so much, you know what I'm saying, stuff going on. And you know what I'm saying, like we're supposed to be the light, you know what I'm saying? And we're supposed to when the world looks at us, they're supposed to see, you know what I'm saying, something different. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's different, that's new, that's not, you know what I'm saying, drama and all this stuff, man. And I love it because like it from and do better, and be that light that we're supposed to be, man, for the world, because like we are truly living in the last days. And I know a lot of people, you know, think it sounds like a cliche because we've been saying it for, you know what I'm saying, centuries. You know, Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. I almost feel like the Noah and the Ark situation.
Right,
you know,
right,
a little bit. People like, okay, you say it's gonna rain, but it ain't raining yet. But yeah, man, I appreciate you in that song, man. And you know, that might be you know, the new mantle for, you know, saying 2024. And no, it should have been the mantle, but you know, man, I appreciate the song, man. So we're gonna definitely get a Khalif on here, then get you back in, and then somebody already asked the question, but I'm gonna let everybody answer as a group.
Got you.
That new breed, yeah.
It's me knocking on the door of the man cave.
What's that? I forgot who's what that song. That's you's a knocking, but you can't come in.
I respect men when they taking care of business. And y'all definitely taking care of business. I appreciate that. But new breed. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I keep telling him
Hey,
we need
what's
to
good,
release
man?
that song. I told him that's that one now.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But listen,
now,
you got something here. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, now that song is dope. And that song is dope. And I love it. But that Khalif, that Star, you're gonna like both of those songs. You're gonna want to add New Breed and Star to your playlist, guaranteed. 100%.
Okay, I'm getting ready for tomorrow morning show. So let's check out Star. I trust you. I trust you.
Yeah.
Maintenance production, what you want, Lord, not we want, Lord, you be the master craftsman, Lord, bless the men, the hands touch this,
yeah, okay, let's go, feeling like a star, yeah, cause I know who I are, yeah, feeling like a star, yeah, cause I know who I are, okay, I'm down with the move, I'm about making plays, I'm down with the move, I don't care if they ain't, feeling like a star, yeah, cause I know who I are, okay, feeling like a star, I just jumped up out of worship, going 10 toes, grind hard like a quarterman, lyrics supernova, yeah, we be on that solar flare, never burning out, cause the source he live within, my Christ kick it like karate, and little burdens by the boatload, turning hearts to wicked men like omelet on the stove, master chef when he with me, he the king of making plays, all the powers bout to him, who you think I supposed to choose, 777s with this hand, me no lose, get my foes the frozen blues, when I turn up with the news, I know praise make him confused, that's good ground cause we at war, General Hannibal with this sword, yeah, feeling like a star, yeah, cause I know who I are, yeah, feeling like a star, yeah, cause I know who I are, okay, I'm down with the move, I'm about making plays, I'm down with the move, I don't care if they ain't, feeling like a star, yeah, cause I know who I are, okay, cause I love them lifted on my sliding glide, quick to hand a demon to the one above. He gon' power upon him, send him to the fight. My deepest desire, sit back in the day. Super Saiyan when we transform, shaking serpents like a rag doll. On my fourth quarter, play no games. Tish bites on, taking my brash out with the close line. Call it sweet chin on the punchline, cause it's lunchtime, trying to feed sheep. Trap house to the suburbs, can't have the streets cause the world is his. Cold air, I'ma have mine. Good fruit, yeah, I'm breathing seal. Hold the massive feeling and they come alive. Stay fighting the flesh on the daily, stay permeating on the blessing. The will and the nature of Most High, the will and the nature of Most High. Ring of Most High, brought me back flatline. Jack time to my evil flows. My rose grew out of the concrete. I took a hammer and held the gods. What do you know? He but got more. Breaking the racket and rat strokes. I show you power of Holy Ghost. I'll send it, baby. I start fires. Revival was only a call away. When the Father run down, I did demonstrate. So I'll quit with the pass on my underlid. So I'll quit with the pass on my underlid. Feeling like a star. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cause I know who I am. Yeah, 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 yeah. Feeling like a star. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cause I know who I am. Okay. I'm down with the move. I'm about making plays. I'm down with the move. I don't care if they ain't. Feeling like a star. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cause I know who I am. Okay.
Yeah, you was right. You was right, C-Dub. You was right. You was right about that one. Man, I tell you, you got a great collection of dads there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Shout out to T-Horne and Khalif, man. Them boys, they the truth, man.
I can't wait for T-Horne to come back and tell us what he's snacking on in the backstage area. You making the queen bee hungry. I mean, but that's all right. That's all right. Because I ain't talking about nobody. Khalif just looking real laid back and relaxed. We're going to bring him on camera right now. So I can all look at him just chilling.
Hey, guys. Yes, I'm chilling because unfortunately for me, I have all my sons today and they are all over the house running, playing Nintendo Switch. They doing a lot. So I told them, everybody downstairs, Daddy need 30 minutes.
Hey, man. Hey, enjoy those moments, boy. Enjoy the moments. They don't last forever.
You know what? Like, that's a reason why I switched my whole career field. Moments with these children that, you know, as good as money is, like, the impact a father has on his child's life is just priceless, man. And I was around enough men to let me know.
Matter of fact, bro, like, tell the people about that story, man, because I remember you telling me that story, and like, it blessed me, man, because I'm on a whole different another level, man. So kind of give people like the background to kind of like what you're talking about, far as, you know what I'm saying, you willing to leave, you know what I'm saying, a job where you making good money, you know what I'm saying, to be a better dad and to be more involved in your kids' life, man. Like, you got to tell that story, bro.
In all honesty, man, I'm a kid. I came from the streets. I got an opportunity to go to college. It didn't work out. I spent several years figuring out a way lucratively to make the amounts of money I did in the streets or something similar. And I became a merchant seaman. Went through schooling, got my first years under my belt, and I became an able-bodied seaman, raised in grade. I had 306 before I became a captain. And I thought about it like, yeah, I love the money, but this is only taking me farther away from my kids. Like, you know, you don't understand the feeling of trying to chastise one of your children or have a conversation with them, and they, yeah, Dad, okay, and they run off. You know, and there's ultimately nothing you can do. I can't do nothing 1,600 miles away. but pray.
Facts.
That's and make and put that dad voice on them, like Brother T said. You wait till I get home. But by the time I get home, I done forgot. So I made the decision that my family and me being in their lifestyle, me being in my children's lifestyle was worth more than the money. And I was making a pretty penny out there on that water, not to disclose my financials, but it was a sacrifice.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you was also doing truck driving, and then you left that also too, right?
Well, actually, I'm in that limbo space there. I have the credentials now. And I'm making more money, but at the same time, like now we getting into. I was reading in the Bible, like when it comes to fatherhood, not only do we have to leave our children a physical legacy, and a spiritual legacy, but financially, like they have to inherit things. Like we got to leave something for them. And I went to thinking about it. I could build someone else's dream, but there's no telling that in the future, like that dream gonna take care of my children. So this will be my first year going into business, and still have my license, but I see the future now.
How was that transition? How was that transition for you though? Like how hard was it to be like, all right, I'm making all this money, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna put my fatherhood, you know what I'm saying, first. Like, was it just an easy choice because so like, hey, like I love my kids, I know they mean more, or like was it like a battle?
No, it was a battle. I hadn't got to the point where I was making like $10,000 a month, like easy, and this is legally, when you're a man and you think about the fact that most people make $4,000 a month, and you're doubling that, but at the same time, mentally, my headspace, like I'm watching my children grow. I'm sending them to do all these things, right? But there are those moments when no amount of money that I could throw at my children would do. And my middle child, she made me feel it the most. That baby girl, she made me feel it the most. Yeah, Daddy, we went to Disney, and we had fun at the rolling rink, but Dad, it just ain't the same without you. And it was moments like that made me realize, like, in life, like money is good. Yeah, it answers all monetary things, but when it comes to matters of the heart, the soul, the stuff you can't touch, it's just not king now.
Yeah. So you said something like them daughters, man, they have a way of, I mean, and I love my sons and stuff like that, but them daughters, they have a way of making an impact on you, man. And I think for me, I mean, me and you done chopped it up. Me and T-Horne done chopped it up before. Like for me, man, like with being a firefighter and working these 24-hour shifts, you know what I'm saying? There are some times where I'm working multiple days a week, you know what I'm saying? And away from the family and stuff like that. What really, the point for me that made me realize, and this I should have been realized because I love my kids and my family and stuff like that. But what made me realize how big of an impact like chasing money was, not really that I'm chasing money, because you feel like as a man, we're taught like it's your job to provide, your job to make sure the bills are paid, make sure your family's financially straight. So you out there like feel like you get it. So, but what made me realize, and you said at some point, was my daughter, man. Like she had an incident, like not too long ago. I want to say maybe a couple months ago, to where they found like stuff on her phone, like where she was like texting like some random dude online and stuff like that, and saying inappropriate stuff and doing inappropriate stuff. And I sat down to have a conversation where I'm like what you know what I'm saying, kind of like, you know, I'm there for you, you know what I'm saying, I give you money, you know what I'm saying, I try to spend time with you and stuff like that. And she was just like, she said that she was like, I was like, is it because like you feel like I'm not there? Is it because you feel like I'm not spending enough time with you? And she like broke down and cried. She was like, yeah. She was like, I was just seeking attention from this person because, you know, I felt like I wasn't getting the attention that I was getting, you know what I'm saying, from you. Bro, you talk about something like, so I almost feel like you get hit by Mike Tyson. Dude, that hit me hard, man. I was like, man, I got to make some changes and transition. I'm like, this money thing is good, but it's not worth the damage, and the impact that it has on the kids, man. Dude, you talking about somebody wanted to cry? Dude, I want to cry my ball. I want to cry my eyes out, bro.
Man.
So from you, man, I have so much respect for you, bro, to be able to make that transition and be like, you know what, I'm gonna take the step back, you know what I'm saying, and find a different path so I can be in my kids' life and do that, man. So I salute you, man. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other men out there that struggle with the same thing, with trying to be a provider and, you know, maintain that being, you know what I'm saying, being in your kids' life. So now, like, I make it an effort to try to find a balance, you know what I'm saying, between work and spending time with them. Like for you, like, how was your relationship with like your father and stuff like growing up? What did you have your father in your life? Did y'all actually have like a relationship?
Man, to be honest, man, I had one of the most absolutely wild and amazing childhoods one could imagine. And my father was a big reason like my childhood was this way. My father was a longshoreman and a big drug dealer. So I had this work balance life, like almost a duality. Like you gotta make money legally, but if that's not enough, you have to find another outlet to get what you need. And my family's outlet just so happened to be hustling. Give me 1 second. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's raining. Hey, man. One thing about them boys I got, they don't care. Rain. We'll put on rain boot.
Dad's work don't never stop.
No, it doesn't. And like, bro, I can't tell you how many times I've been on a podcast or doing something and my children just like invade. Like I locked the door this time. I ain't taking no losses this time. I locked the door. But this my life. Like, you know how it go with us. Like whether they at the shows, you know what I'm saying, the church, well, like.
Yeah,
the goal is still the same. Like, show you how to walk this walk better than me. I don't want you to do the things I did, and that's that. Speaking about my dad, like, I grew up with a man that was church hurt and found Islam. And this, I don't know if you know anything about the black Muslim movement in America, but it's very militant. Very strategic, very yes sir, no ma'am, but at the same time deadly. So I had that, and business. And my father was very like business savvy. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up a kid that I had everything I wanted, but at the same time, my dad was a male whore. So we're doing one thing. But I did grown folk stuff too. And I remember being like 6 years old, 7 years old, and a woman like getting on top of my daddy's car and spreading her legs wide open. So a lot of the stuff I was exposed to as a child via my father, our relationship, it made me mannish. Like growing up, Oh my God.
We'll be back. We'll be right back.
I'm gonna watch.
Yeah. Peace Thunder, what's happening, homie? I got a special friend with me in the booth. Miss Miraculous. Woke up this morning and I'm grateful for another day. Before I get my day started, gotta hit my knees to pray. Psalm 23, yeah, that's how I start my day. Lord, order my steps and please guide the way. The only reason that I'm here is because of His grace. Took my sins and wiped them clean, I didn't leave a trace. When people say they blessed, they usually talk materialistic. If you woke up, you blessed simply cause you breathing. I know sometimes that's the opposite of how you feeling, but manifestation comes by how you speak it. Your attitude determines your altitude. Learn that from Steve Harvey. Taste and see the Lord is good like a cup of coffee. That's why I wake up, giving thanks early in the morning. That's why I'm turned up at the church on that Sunday morning. We all blessed, we just got different meanings, different reasons. When you look at your glass, how you see it. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. No stress, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. No stress, I'm feeling blessed.
Woke up this morning and I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and I'm feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed. Thank you, God, for opening our eyes each day. Keep us safe on our walk. In return, we pray. Show us vision of promise and give us the strength. Clear the way, we can do anything. Put our faith in you, so we have no fears. That's aside with us through our joys and tears. Feel the joy, and we so rejoice. So we gon' lift our
Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed. Ever since a young in the Lord, been working in my favor. Fast forward to now, I'm here because it's grace and favor. The truth is, without a marvelous step, I never would've made it. I see His blessings moving daily. Woo, elevator, kept me alive on the ventilator. Devil had a hand on the detonator. Should've drowned in that pool at a young age, but his plans was greater. Should've been paralyzed in 05. Should've been dead on 75. Drop it with suspended license. Should've been locked up for 6 days. Survivor attack without a scrape. No need for a band-aid. Devil looking crazy, mad face. Gotta keep running my race. Devil keep it moving, get up out of my face. Speaking to existence today, gon' be a blessed day. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord. We've got some comments that have come in. I'm not even going to bring Minister C-Dub or Brother Terrence in for these. Well, I might let y'all, but somebody texted and said, it's all about men being mannish. And then before I could respond to that, they text back and said, she did what? She climbed up on the car and did what? So I guess I say this to say that parents need Jesus coming and going moms, dads, C-Dub, come in here and help me with this one. We just she climbed up on the I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, man, like everybody's childhood and parents, you know what I'm saying, wasn't perfect or the model, parent. Like, my mom, she was a drug addict, she was an alcoholic, and stuff like that. And, a lot of times the things that we see from my parents growing up, they have an impact on us, your kids when they get older. So,
and I'm gonna bring Brother Terrence in here.
Be like that.
I know it does. And I remember asking my dad a question a while back. I said, "What did you learn from Granddaddy? And did you do it? Because Brother Terrence, yes, I grew up with both parents in the home, but Dad was always at work somewhere. Always, Mom was working. So I get it. But I asked my dad, "What did you learn from Granddaddy?" He said, "Well, we was riding in the car one day and he saw a girl and he told me stick my head out the window and holler at the girl. And I never did." And I'm like, "Oh, phew, thank God." But I get it. We all have to respect parents. We have to respect men when they're with their children. We have to respect women with their children. We have to show some respect. And it's really sad when that does not happen. So here's a question for you guys to answer, and I'm gonna get out the way.
I guess we lost Khalif. I don't even know what happened to him, but
yeah. Oh my God, he was gone. Prayers for Khalif, everybody.
It was getting good too.
Right.
Anyway.
It's so funny. Before we go into the question, it's so funny. Me and Khalif go way back, just like me and you go way back. Me and Khalif were actually, when I first started doing Christian hip hop, we were actually supposed to be in a group together. He's in a group called Iron Sharpens Iron. There's two members, him and another friend of mine named Prime. There's actually supposed to be three. Not supposed to be a third member. But I was on my Bobby Brown stuff back in the day.
I think I remember that.
David Ruffin stuff. Anybody come see y'all? They come see T-Horne. They ain't come see y'all. No, I'm playing. I had other stuff going on at the time. I couldn't commit. That's all it was. But
T-Horne and Iron Sharpens Iron.
Oh man, but I got mad love for Khalif. I got mad love for you. We all go way back, and we all doing this thing together. And I love it, man.
Wow. Hey, I mean, side note though, that would have been a dope group though. Stop playing though. That would have been a dope group. You Khalif, because all y'all styles are different, but they all mesh well though.
Yeah,
that would have been dope.
It's still Iron Sharpens Iron. They're my brothers, man. They're my brothers. They not loving to death. It's just the time and everything. That who's to say? You know what I'm saying? You might have a T-Horne Iron Sharpens Iron track come out, and then you get a little preview of that. You know what I'm saying? I got
compilation.
There you go, compilation.
Like a whole project.
Yeah, I was talking to Prime the other day. He was just telling my wife, like, you don't even know this man got so much unreleased music he ain't put out there yet. So you don't even know. And I got songs with him. Everything, right? So that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? But the question
stop playing though. Side note, nah, you ain't finna get out there. Stop playing.
Okay, come on. What's up?
Songs. We need to get on that.
Sir. Okay, side note, stop playing. You know you owe me a track on the I'm So Uncool remix. Cause you know you got the idea from, right?
Hey, hold on. Let me angle the camera. I'm gonna tell the whole world, if y'all didn't know, Mr. Uncool himself is right next to me in the screen. So if you heard Uncool on Transform, that's the man right there.
I'll tell you, make a remix.
And we still gonna do that.
Yes, sir. But the question. I actually had to answer. I said, what was one of the hardest moments you had being a father, and why was it hard? Can I answer that first? Do you mind?
Hey, You the guest. Have at it. Let's go.
Okay, so for me personally, there are a lot of hard moments as a dad, but I think the hardest moments always come from. Let me backtrack a little bit. Before my marriage, I've had relationships. Before my marriage, have children outside of my marriage. Before I got married, right? So there's always the baby mama and the baby daddy drama. I think one of the hardest things of being a father is if you're in that position, having to deal with the mothers after the relationship is over, because you have those times where the mother uses the child as a chess piece to play against you in your life, especially if you're the reason that y'all broke up and stuff like that. They might use that child as a weapon just to get back at you. And there's been so many times where I've had issues trying to be the best dad could possibly be, but because their mothers have negative feelings about me, or don't agree with things I'm doing or life I'm living, or they just want, just have this outlook of being the best parent overall, that makes it hard. And that's one thing I always hated about, the split in the families and stuff, because when you have fathers that actually try their hardest to be the best fathers, it's like they get the bad end of the stick. Then you got these fathers that don't care, don't show up for their kids, and they be living this glamorous life with no consequence. And that's one of the hardest things for me to do, because I know I love my kids and do for my kids. And granted, I'm not in that space of life now, because maturity with time comes maturity on both parents' sides and everything. But in the beginning, it was really rough, to the point where I would be like in tears sometimes. I just want to be a good dad. I don't want to deal with all this drama. You know what I'm saying? Child support kicking my behind. Then I got you, the baby mama in my ear saying this kid need dad, and I can only do so much as a dad. Those beginning years of being a baby daddy and being split from your kid, and then not only that, not getting the proper time. You don't see your kids every day. You get them like every other weekend or once a week and stuff like that. That was the hardest time of my life. And now my kids are mature, so I can talk to them about that and stuff like that, and they're older. But in those younger years, your kids don't have a voice. So you can't tell them like, hey, I'm your dad, I'm doing this and stuff like that and everything. They can only go off with their mothers telling them what they see at the house. All they see is my dad's not always here. So I think that was one of the hardest things about being a father for me.
Yeah, I have to double down on that, because I also I have kids from a previous marriage also, and no disrespect to her, we have a pretty good, pretty good relationship, but there have been times where where we have gotten into disagreements, or where I've said something that she didn't like, and it'd be like, oh well, you're not going to see your kids. I'll be like, yeah, that's not going, that's not going to fly, for me. So, and then, like you said, having that balance, man, because I noticed like the older that I get, because now, I'm married to my wife now, but a hard point is when those kids start asking, like you said, like they start asking questions like, what happened between, right, you and my dad, or, whatever. And for me, it's even harder, because like, I don't want my son to look up to me, or my kids to look up to me a bad way, because I was literally the cause of, like that marriage not working out. Like we both got married young, I was like 19, she was like 18, my whole wish way still wasn't out of the way, and I wanted to try to be married and still go out, and mess around and stuff like that. So I messed up that marriage. And now, my kids get older, and you have to answer those questions, be like, look, yo, like, you have to basically be a man and be like, look, I messed that up. Like me and your mom, like that's no more. I still have respect for your mom. I still care for your mom, and we still going to raise you, and we still both care about you. But, having to answer those questions is pretty tough. And then, which also I know that you can relate, is now you have that on top of trying to blend, your kids from a previous marriage. And then now you're having to blend them into a new marriage with, with my wife and her kids. And then now trying to manage that relationship between those kids. And then now trying to manage the relationship between, my ex-wife, and my wife now, and having to, communicate, having to put up boundaries. and just the pressure of trying to make it all mesh, making sure that those kids don't feel no different than, you know, your biological kids, and trying to literally blend that, you know what I'm saying, that relationship with everybody, and making sure everybody's on the same page, everybody's on the same accord. So for me, like it's challenging, and I don't always get it right, but each and every time, man, like I learned stuff and try to work on doing better at managing. And I had to manage boundaries between, you know what I'm saying, my ex, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, like, you can't call me after a certain time if it ain't about the kids, like, you know, managing that balance, man. So for me, like, as a parent, I say dealing with divorce with your kids, and then also trying to pick up the pieces, and now you remarry, and now you're trying to blend, you know what I'm saying, those two, your kids with those kids, and, you know, that trying to find that balance so that nobody feels left out and that everybody feels loved, you know, because my goal is to make sure, like, even though you didn't come from me, like, you're going to feel that love like you came, you know what I'm saying, from me. Right. So, and even dealing with the dynamic of my wife and her ex-husband, like, trying to balance. So it's like, like a freaking,
it's a lot.
Like, but, you know what I'm saying, like, if it wasn't, and I thank God, man, because he's the only one who helps me navigate it, because I probably would have been lost it.
Right. I understand. I've been there. Believe me, I have been there.
What do you say? How do you manage spending individual time with each of your children?
For that question, so, you know, I got a goon squad on my side. I got a whole football team. You know what I'm saying? And it's different personalities, different likes and stuff like that. It's more, how can I say? So my children usually see me sporadically. My children don't live with me; they live with their mothers and stuff, right? And they come with me on the weekends and stuff like that. It's so hard to balance the time out, but you have to do it. You have to, because, like, for instance, I have a 12-year-old going 13-year-old. He's in art school, and he loves anime and comic books and stuff like that. He wants to show me every little video he makes, every drawing he has. Then I have a 7-year-old that it has autism, so he's special needs. So I have to do certain things for him and take time away from the other kids and focus on him because of special needs. Then I got little girls who, you know, they love their daddies. You got to make sure you call them, make sure you be your heart melts and stuff like that when you get around the girls. And then I have my new step kids who, you know, have their own personality traits. So it's all about that. When it comes, no, y'all need to change the name of this show to Balance. That's what y'all need to do, because it's all about balance. Balance on different personalities, balance on all that stuff, you know? That's all it is.
That should have been the topic from the get-go. Just balance. Not, real, man. You know, say not forgiveness and that, and all that's good, but, man, it seems like the direction that God is taking this thing, man, is definitely balance, man. Like, that's what it should have been. But you 1,000% correct, man. Like, trying to balance, like, individual time with each kid. Like I said this the last Sunday when we did the live, man. Like, it's different because I had to come into the realization that every kid is not the same. So, you know what I'm saying, one son might like sports, but the other one might not like sports. He don't want to go outside and throw the football or whatever. And you have to be okay with that, not be like, oh, well, you're going to come outside and you're going to throw the football. Like, finding that, once again, that balance of what is appealing to each of those kids, and base the individual time off that. So if you know one child is like video games, you know what I'm saying, boom, all right, hey, let's go. Let's play some, you know what I'm saying, let's play video games. You know, my one of my oldest, he like working out. That's his thing. All right, hey, let's go to the gym. What's up? You know, I'm gonna show you this old man still got it, man. Put them weights on.
Right.
You know,
I seen that in the music video. I seen that.
Yeah. See, And then but each child has something special and unique about them that they like, and just trying to cater to those. So like my daughter, she likes, which is my middle daughter, I mean my 11-year-old daughter, she likes spending one-on-one time. So like I would, take her, be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna go out on a date, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna go to the movies, whatever, go get popcorn, or we're gonna go, her favorite place is Panda Express. Hey, all right, boom, we're gonna go to Panda Express and we're gonna spend that one-on-one time and talk, because I know she's a daddy's girl along with my little daughter. So I make sure I spend one-on-one time with them. But it's about finding that balance of what each kid's like, and then you cater to that. And then there's times where me and my wife is like, hey, boom, we about to do a movie night where we all crash in the living room, put on the movie, put on some popcorn, and boom, that's time that we spend with all of them. But as a man, it's hard to find that balance, because I don't know if you heard it, but when I was talking to Khalif, like between working and providing, man, it is hard and complicated to try to find that time to spend with the kids and trying to make sure that the household is taken care of. But it has to come down to priorities, you know what I'm saying, like how important, you know what I'm saying, is it for you to spend time with that? And for me, that's what it comes down to. And I had to learn that. So
I said one thing to piggyback off that, it's not just about time. As a father, you have to learn
quality time.
Very crucial, very crucial. You have to learn to become versatile too. Because like you said earlier, there's so many different, me and you both have like a good number of kids. So there's so many different personalities you have to deal with. Like, for example, I said earlier, my son, he's an artist like me. He draws and all that stuff in the music and everything. That's cool. But now I have my stepdaughter, and though my son isn't into sports, I have a stepdaughter that's a super athlete. So even though I was that much of an athlete growing up, I still played sports and everything. But even though I wasn't much of an athlete, now I find myself studying more, becoming more athletic for her sake. Then I have my other stepdaughter, who is she's like Chrissy. She's so sweet. She's more like a works of service type girl. So she's the type where you're sitting there and you'll be like, oh, I'm hungry. And then all of a sudden she'll come with a plate with a Capri Sun, some grapes, some crackers, like, I made this for you because I heard you were hungry. You know what I'm saying? So then I have to cater to her, because I'm like, okay, you like to do work, you like to please people, and you like to cater to people. So hey, come help me. Let's get this firewood for the fire pit, or let's build this, or let's sit down and build something, stuff like that. So you find yourself having, like I said, priorities. You find yourself prioritizing things that you weren't really interested in before for the sake of these kids, and becoming more versatile. And the kids end up building you to a better person and make you better, because now you have all these talents and all this stuff going on with you now that you never had before, and they end up growing you as an individual. You don't even realize it. You know what I mean?
Man, you ain't lied, bro. Like I think I said this also the last Sunday too, bro. It's like sometimes, especially when you have daughters, man, it's taking off that cape and that masculinity, because there's times where, you know what I'm saying, my daughter, she's 5, and she might want to play with dolls, you know what I'm saying, or she might want to play with stuffed animals, and I have to be like,
you catch yourself doing it too.
I can't be like, oh, well, that's not manly, I'm not going to do that. No, she don't understand that. I got to be able to take off that masculine and be like, all right, let me sip a little teacup.
Right. Right. I done had nails painted on.
Bro, it's real out here for a man, man. Like, you have to, especially when you got daughters, like, sons, that's one thing.
But girls change you though. Girls change you in a big way.
Oh, we keep it real on this. I try to keep it real on this for the dads, dude. I think for me, bro, the moment hit me about spending quality time and all that when my daughter like started her girl cycle. I was like, I almost had a nervous breakdown, bro.
So let me tell you this. Different.
Bro,
See,
I almost had a nervous breakdown, bro.
You got to get gradually go into that. My biological daughters are little. My stepdaughters are teenagers. So I was like just thrown into it. I'm like, boom, married, period. like,
bro. I'm like, dude, that transition, bro. I was like, okay. Speaking of that, all right. So check it, right? So because I want to keep it 100. What is? I got two questions for you.
All right.
Number one, so we're talking about like daughters, and saying now like they enter, like they start getting like they monthlies and stuff, and their hormones like start kicking in and stuff like that. So like as a father, how do you? Number one, the first question is, I don't know if you had to deal with it or if you're preparing yourself to deal with it. But what is your thought process far as when it comes to allowing your daughters to, to either have a little friend or boyfriend or, like trying to navigate that? Because for me, I'm like Martin Lawrence and doggone Will Smith and Bad Boys. Well, I show it to the door like, hey, what it is, partner?
And see, that's the thing.
Bro, I told my daughters, I was like, man, I don't even want my daughter. I'm like, and it sounds horrible, but I'm like, I don't even want you to have a boyfriend until you like done graduated, college, and and I know you can't think like that, but on a serious note, like how do you, as a father, prepare yourself to, to having to deal with that, or if it's already, something that is coming around.
So I got two answers to that question. So bear with me, all right? So first, let me
say. Hey, we got time. Good.
Okay. So first, let me start by saying my biological born children from me. I have 4 daughters, right? And my first experience with a girl overall was the birth of my daughter Aspen. And when she was born, all my kids being born was a great experience. But something about that first girl you interact with being born, Aspen, to this day, she melts my heart. Like that girl can get over on me, and sometimes I have to, hey, get back dad mode. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you have this thing that you have in your life that's so precious, it's like your dad sense goes off. And it's like I gotta protect her, let nothing happen to her. Yeah. I know how I was as a young man, and I know these boys of this generation are 10 times worse. So I know for a fact. So I feel you. Like you said that scene of Bad Boys of Martin and Will Smith. I forgot the name of the movie. Hey. But when I think about me being a dad, I think about that scene where 50 Cent was in the garage and all the dudes was in the gym working out, and the dude was taking the daughter to prom. I forgot the name, and he brought him in the garage. It was like all his homeboys, all the muscular dudes, like, yeah, you bring him home at this time and blah, blah, blah. That's the mindset I be on, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But realistically, we're going to be like that, but realistically, we can't be like that because eventually, boys and girls gonna like each other. They're gonna be interested. As far as preparing for that, my mindset is just be in the place mentally when it gets to that. When my daughters get to that point, I can talk to them and guide them the way they're supposed to go, and just trust that I did what I was supposed to do as a father. To my point, my daughters make the right decisions and don't mess with any knuckleheads and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then the catch-22 of this story is I got married. And when I got married, my wife already had 2 teenage daughters. So even though I have young daughters, I'm fast-tracked into the situation. And now I love these girls like they came from me. So it's like when I hear stories about, this girl, this daughter may like this boy, or, like I had one of my stepdaughters ask her mom, it was so funny. She was like, hey, Mom, how come you can get married and have a man and I can't have a man? And my wife looked at me and the answer, it's not. It's like, and since she ended with, it's not fair. So my wife looked at me to answer the question. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Hey, that's where you put up that church figure and be like.
That's how it is, though. But that dad, I would think, honestly, Even though realistic, eventually one day our daughters gonna find a boyfriend, they're gonna like them boys, they're gonna get married. The big one, they're gonna end up having sex one day. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be unnatural as a father if you didn't feel some type of way, if you weren't on that protective mode. You know what I'm saying? Though we know constantly we can't protect them forever, I feel like every dad should be like that. To the point where it's like you should give your daughter some trouble about boys if you love her enough, because you want to protect her. You want to make sure that if a boy does come along and take your daughter's heart, that's the right one that's going to do right by her. Because no dad wants to see his daughter get hurt. No dad wants to see his daughter's heart broken, stuff like that and everything. It's a big pill to swallow. And some of us can't swallow it. Right now, I can't. I'm not listening. I can't right now. God grant me the maturity to be able to handle that one day.
Yeah, I think for me, man, like I know deep down, like I'm not ready. I know one day, like you said, one day it's going to come, and it's already just settling in to be like, okay, like it's going to come. But I think also, like you said, it's our job as to fathers also, you know what I'm saying, to show our daughters what a real man, or what a man, you know what I'm saying, is supposed to look like. And I try to, yeah, man, like I try to limit, you know what I'm saying, the nonsense. Meaning, like, I make sure that I tell my daughter I love her. So just because a dude tell her that he loves her, she'll be like, oh, like she already gonna know that she love, you know what I'm saying? Right. Or going back to what I said before, when I got hit in the face with the issue between my daughters, making sure I spend time with her so she's not feeling like she's having to do certain things to get attention from, you know what I'm saying, somebody else. So just trying to put things in play to be able to navigate that a little bit for me. And then, like you said, like just being there and having conversations. And speaking of like conversations, like have you already had like the sex conversation? You can't even it like.
Bro, I'm in the planning.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I brought it up.
Like I'm in that mode right now as we speak of the birds and the bees talk and having to plan out. Like this is the year for it. So I haven't had it yet.
Well, the reason why I say that too, though.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The reason why I say that too, though, like I said, with my daughter, you know what I'm saying, with her, you know, so at that point of, you know, getting her cycle and stuff like that. Like me and my wife, we have these conversations, and she always talked about like how, like growing up, like you can't be oblivious to the fact that there's a possibility that you know what I'm saying, that your child could have sex. Of course. And she kind of talked about how, like growing up, like her mother like put her on birth control, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But so for me, it's like going back into the question about having the conversation. One, it's gonna be a two-part question again. Like one, you can address like the if you're planning on having conversations or if you had it, and two, when is like the appropriate time, I guess, to have that conversation and start possibly like taking those preventative measures, you know what I'm saying, to make sure, because like my daughter's mom, she got pregnant, you know what I'm saying, at 12 years old. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to avoid, you know what I'm saying, avoid that. And it happened. So, you know, kind of talk about that one, like if you plan on having a conversation or if you already had it. And you know what I'm saying, when do you feel like it's a good time to have the conversation and start possibly making those preparations to kind of stay ahead of the, I don't know, curve or whatever, or the inevitable, I guess.
So to answer that question, first of all, let me just say this. My career on the day-to-day is I'm a behavior interventionist at a school for kids who may have gotten in trouble, and it's my job to help turn them around. I do behavior intervention and mentoring and for young kids, middle school kids and stuff like that. When I hear the stuff they talk about, like, man, you grew up in the same generation, right? See? And the stuff they talk about, is the stuff me and you talked about when we were between the ages of 21 and 25. They're in middle school, and if I could be frank, they're in middle and before they're in middle school these days, talking about stuff like, you know, having sex, even to the point of, you know, smoking, drinking. I had one kid, well, Lord, forgive me for saying this, but he was talking about picking on the kid, talking about how him and his homeboy, if he didn't shut up, they was gonna run a train on his mama. That bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I think about where we are, where the kids are in society, I think now is the time. The best time to talk to them is as soon as possible. I would say,
and everything is a lot accessible through like their phones and stuff now.
Social media, like TV, music, all that stuff. Yeah. Media. Yeah. So I would say as early as possible. I would say right when they're entering or right before between that 5th and 6th grade year, because like you said, there are children getting pregnant these days as early as 11, 12 years old. So right at that point where they're transitioning, because the elementary to middle school age is a very we're transitioning from a child. You're leaving childhood behind with elementary school and going into your teenage years at middle school. And the 6th, 7th, to 8th grade years, those middle school years are the biggest time for transition. Yeah. They're trying to figure out themselves from being a kid to being a teenager / adult and stuff like that and everything. So it's very important as parents, not only do we have those talks, but we're in our kids' lives as much as possible, because that's the time they're going to need us the most. You know what I mean? Right. Oh, she's knocking on the door. She's knocking on the door.
Excuse me for knocking on the man cave door. Mm-hmm. We had somebody who just called and said, if you just now talking to your daughters about sex and they're already getting a cycle, it's too late. You should have been talking to them.
Got you. I agree with that.
And they still sending messages. So I truly appreciate this conversation. Somebody else just sent a text and said, contact Planned Parenthood. They specialize in how to have conversations with your daughters.
I will be doing that.
Planned Parenthood, and what did she say? Not just to take them to put them on birth control, but to teach them about their bodies. We had a whole conversation once in the Moms in Ministry workshop, and again, I don't mean to interrupt, but it was like, how many of us actually know what our bodies are capable of and what's what? And it's like the guys know better what to do than we do. And so one of the viewers then said it would have been great to have learned more about my body from my dad. Now, I don't know if that's something y'all want to, converse on, but that's what came up.
You feel good?
Huh?
You feel comfortable talking about that?
I mean, like, I get the fact that I wonder if the person who made that comment, was raised by a single dad, because like for me, I think that it's a little bit hard for us as fathers to have that conversation with daughters about their bodies, because like we're not familiar with, how a woman's body is. I mean, we know from our interactions, I think
that's what they meant. Like from a sexual standpoint, I think that's what they meant. And that's, like you said, that's hard, because it's like you talking to your daughter about sexual experiences you had, and then you gotta explain how you know this stuff and everything. Your daughter gonna look at you totally different. But at the same time, I think I kind of see where they're coming from, because who better to tell you than the man who loves you most than some boy who's just trying to get in your pants? You feel me?
I guess like in that instance, hey, somebody got hand claps. But
I'll take it.
But you know what I'm saying, to piggyback off what you said, in that sense, it makes sense, you know, to be like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying, your vaginal area is, you know what I'm saying, it's sacred, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's important, it's not just for anybody, you know what I'm saying, to be able to lay down with you or to do certain stuff to you. And from that aspect, yeah, I think more fathers should, especially because, like you said, like growing up, like I know how you know what I'm saying, my interaction with women was and how I treated women, and you know what I'm saying, the things that I did that I'm not proud of. So from that aspect, yeah, I definitely think that those type of conversations should be had more, just to talk about, you know, valuing your body and not just letting anybody, you know, have it type deal.
Yeah, like really looking at your body as a temple. I think that's the thing with social media. Like you said, everything's so easy to come up with on your phones and your laptops and just social media in general. And the thing with social media, Khalif, welcome back, bro. But the thing with social media is that
whole hour and 30 minutes later.
Hey, my phone went dead, man. Look, my display screen phone percentage and my actual phone percentage, they always vary. And I was looking at the display screen and not the phone percentage. So yeah.
But just to catch you,
I thought I had 56. No, don't say
good.
what you was gonna say. You're smart.
I'm about to say, just to fill you in, we was kind of talking about Miss Angie had came in and was talking about somebody had texted or called in and was talking about saying that a young lady was saying that she wished that her dad you know, had a conversation with her, you know what I'm saying, about her body. So we're kind of just talking about the importance of, as fathers, how important it is as fathers to talk to our daughters about their bodies being a temple, and you know, just not letting anybody lay down with them and stuff like that. But
y'all gonna throw me in the middle of the jungle. I like this.
But hold up, but I think T-Horne was finishing up. But if you want to chime in after he done, but
yeah. I'll make it real quick because I wanted to hit Khalif piece on it too. I was saying, like, media, music, everything today has it to the point where women are so overly sexualized. Like, they're out, like, there's nothing for the imagination, or nothing for husbands or even boyfriends or anybody that want it. But you see everything. Women are half naked, women are dancing in provocative ways, have become okay with being called BITCH and stuff like that and everything. And the whole idea of a woman keeping her body and having a temple and saving it, and not even just saying it for a man, just having respect for yourself, is so out the window these days. So I think it's important not only for the dads to discuss, but the dads need to go ahead and push the idea and remind the woman, like, remind their daughters, treat your body like a temple. You're special. You're supposed to be kept. You're pure. You're precious. You know, and try to build that up and build that self-confidence in girls too, because they don't have that. Because social media is definitely tearing that down. That's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Right.
So before he tuned in, I want to say this though. It's important. I want to say that it's important to throw in there. It ain't just sex either. You know what I'm saying? It's about being comfortable in general, like, because now, like you said, everybody is wanting that Barbie doll figure. So also talking to them, being like, hey, it's okay. Like, if you're saying, to keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? It's okay if your breast is not as big as, you know what I'm saying, somebody else's, or, you know what I'm saying, your butt is not this way, or, you know, you have this about your body that you don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, teaching them that, hey, it's okay. Like, God said that, you know what I'm saying, he created us fearfully and wonderfully made, and everything that God created, you know what I'm saying, it's perfect. And you don't have to look like, you know what I'm saying, the 90% of other people. Like, you don't have to change your body. It's okay to be comfortable in your own skin. You know what I'm saying, whether you're 120 pounds or whether you 250, 260, you know what I'm saying, you big boned it or whatever. Like, it's okay. Be comfortable in that and be comfortable who you are, because at the end of the day, like, regardless, like you're still beautiful, you know what I'm saying, in God's eyes.
Right.
And boosting that self-esteem. So not just sexually valuing your body, but valuing your body just in the way that you were created, because you have no control over the way that you was created, but you have control over the way that you see yourself when you look in the mirror. And letting them know that no matter what they see in their other friends on these TV, social media, hey, it's okay to be comfortable in your own skin and be in love with yourself, regardless of the difference in, you know, that. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely live in a generation where it's like there's a prototype, if that makes sense, for cool. You know, like we really do live in a generation where good is considered evil and evil is considered girl. And with our children, especially those girls, it's so important like to have those conversations, like categorizing things, like just to be honest, like we had an incident, we went in them tablets and everybody was in the doghouse. Basically everybody was in the doghouse. But after chastisement, something dropped in my spirit to explain to my daughters, hey, look, daddy might spank y'all, because when y'all go too far, like, you know, like you say, one time, 2 times, 3 times, okay, we gonna get a higher level of straightening. But I never wanted them to confuse like the fact that I love them and I chastise them. Well, when y'all get older and y'all have men, no, they don't got no business putting their hands on y'all. Like, you should be able to have a conversation with him, you know, and vice versa, without y'all being like putting your hands on each other. You know, like I had to explain to them that like different people have like different relationships, like I want to say barriers. Like, for example, T-Horne, my brother, Clarence, my brother. So the stuff that y'all can say to me, everybody can say to me. I'm sorry. You know, and it's the same thing with our girls, like teaching them good touch, bad touch, you know, sexual behaviors, everything you want these children to know. Like, we got to be open with them, like, first, because the world is itching for the opportunity to introduce our children to something new, you know, to help them explore things, you know, unsupervised. But if we go ahead and take the initiative to have those tough conversations, well, let's talk about sex this week, or let's talk about abuse this week, or let's talk about relationships, friendships, barriers. You know, these are conversations we constantly have to have with these children, because, like T-Horne say, we live in a generation where the middle school kids already talking about sex, and they already finding their truth and stuff like that. A lot of the things that I heard that I hear younger children say, because I be in youth prison, I'm a youth minister. You know, I deal with the kids enough to know that these kids are sexually attacked on levels like we never have been. You know, they was doing a number with us, but when it comes to our kids, they have everything we had and this new generation of sick-minded people. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be on the ball when it comes to just being open and honest. Like, it's everything.
So, and it's a question for both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We kind of talked about, you know, the importance of talking about sex and all, and having those conversations and stuff like that. And with both of you being Christians, like what would you say would be, because technically, I know for me, it's like a catch-22, because in the Bible, you know, it tells us, we talked about, you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to wait till marriage, you know what I'm saying, to have sex. So how do you balance, you know, knowing what the Bible say, but still being able to have a real conversation without, you know what I'm saying, crossing that line of what you believe spiritually?
I got something. So
You can
I
have it, bro.
actually want to use my experience growing up. So, my mother, the saint and wonderful woman she is, she getting pregnant with me at 15 years old. So she was a teenage mom and all that stuff with me and stuff like that and everything. And it ended up holding her back a lot because of she couldn't graduate high school, she couldn't do a lot of things she couldn't like really fulfill a lot of her plans. So, but she put everything into raising her sisters and everything to where she goes. The Bible says, you know what I'm saying? So when I got to high school, my 9th grade year, my mama pulled me to the side. Now, like I said, I grew up in church very heavy. Like I was there every day of the week. I was the type. Sunday you'd have morning service, evening service, Monday men's fellowship, Tuesday step practice, Wednesday Bible study, Thursday. You know how it goes the whole week.
You give me flashbacks. Like I'm crawling on the pews.
That's how I grew up.
At least 5 times a week.
Right. But one day I said, though my mom was a Christian woman, she was a realist. She's real, as real as you can get. My mom pulled me to the side and say, listen, with us being a Christian household, you are supposed to wait till you're married to have sex. I want you to do that, ideally. But at the same time, I'm not ignorant to the world we live in today. And you're a handsome young man. I know a lot of these girls like you. The temptation gonna be high. I preach the Bible to you, but every situation, I'm gonna say this. I hope it's not received the wrong way. Every situation is a Bible situation, but every situation is not a Bible situation. That's understood. What that means, what I mean by that is, sometimes you just gotta be good and be real with these things. And my mom's straight up, like in this world today, it would be very rare if you lasted and wait till marriage to have sex, especially the way girls come at you, how handsome young man you are. So I'm gonna be real with you. I want you to wait till marriage, but at least wait until you graduate high school, because now we're going to go through the trials and tribulations I went through. If you do make this decision before you get married, you will have to go through trials and tribulations, but at least do that for me. So I said, all right, Mom, I got you. And until I graduated high school, I didn't have sex. I was a virgin all the way through high school. Now, when I graduated, I went on for a while. But like she said, though, she was upfront with me. She hit me with the Bible and she hit me with real life. That's that balance, you know what I'm saying? And like she said, when I had sex before marriage, I'm thinking I'm just having a good time, meeting girls, this and that and everything. I went to the military, was in Japan, been all over the world, so I was having a good old time. Not realizing that because I didn't wait and follow the principles. And I'm not too big on banging Bible on people. Let's keep it real. Certain principles I put in place not to have control over your life, but to protect you. The whole thing about having sex before marriage, that God, I believe God put that in place to protect people. Because when you have sex before marriage, then you got the risk of STDs, HIV and AIDS. Then you got the risk of having a child before marriage, baby mama, baby daddy,
baby mama drama,
all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that comes with having sex before marriage, unless versus you getting married to that one person, having children with that one person, not worrying about getting STDs or anything because you with that one person. You know what I'm saying?
And
so,
and to throw that in there too, though, which a lot of people don't think about. I truly believe he also put that in there. The whole you should wait till you married to have sex, but also because then now you don't open up that worm and that wormhole, and then now you're expecting your wife to do something that Susie, Susie was doing, and then now you're not satisfied, in your marriage, because now you're so accustomed to
the last person,
things a certain type of way.
Right.
Like it becomes a dump, it becomes a domino, effect. So he put those things in place, for a reason. But anyway, continue.
That's how I had to say this. I feel like if you are a Christian, you should use those Bible principles. Those same principles. You should want your child and express to them that you want to wait till marriage and express the reason why. I think that's the thing that would have helped me out too if it was explained to me why. We live in a generation where kids need to understand why you're telling me this and why is it so important. Explain why, and that have more of an impact. But also be real with them at the same time and say, I understand the generation. You might slip up, you're gonna make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. But at least try. At least put your best foot forward. At least try, like I say in the Bible, nobody's perfect, but you can strive for perfection. At least strive. You feel me? That's all I want to say. That's all.
Khalif, what you got?
I'm like old school, straightforward Bible, like shotgun doctrine with the aspect of grace. Like something I figured out, like walking this walk is like God is a king, right?
You might want to angle your camera a little bit. I only can see half of your face. You look like you got on a mask. It's just like
I'm sorry, wait, I think this is better. I don't know. So what I'm saying is God is a king. It is what it is. But that's where the aspect of grace comes in, you know? And because I've had so many sexual encounters when I was young, now I can see like spiritually where God was protecting me. Like I understand like why God say don't do stuff. At the end of the day, he a father. And the like whether you guys realize it or not, like in our job, right, we get to see like the heart of God. So to where God gave us these rules and these mandates, right? We often see like men ain't perfect. We gonna strive, right? But we gonna fall. So I give my children the honest truth, like you wait to marriage because it opens up a can of worms that you don't want to deal with, and you don't understand the spiritual aspects, like the things that's going on that you can't see. But if you are to mess up, there's grace for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Christ came in physical form, like to be our sin offering, our appropriation. So like being real with them, but straightforward and telling them the truth of the matter, like the why. A lot of times, growing up, especially in black households, a lot of kids felt like they ain't had no voice as a child. You know, we understood, do as I say, and that was the end of it. And as a child, that we don't think about, our parents didn't think about how that made our mind run wild. You just telling me to do something, but you ain't telling me why. Once a child figure out, like it's always a why behind everything, it's just our human nature to be curious about it. So I rather tell my children why. Like, bro, you hit it on the head. You know what I'm saying? And let them see the good choice and the bad choice. You know, let them learn from other people's, decisions. And ultimately, if whether they decide to keep forward, like on the good path, or they slip up and make a mistake, they'll understand that, okay, this is the consequence of my mistake. Okay, now I understand repentance. Okay, this ain't good for me. I don't need to do this no more. Okay, Lord, give me the strength. Oh, mama knocking.
I'm knocking. I'm knocking. And I apologize. This conversation is so good, but we do have one person wants to know how to get the music. I'm trying to see how do we get your music? And somebody else wanted to know what was a tough lesson that Khalif learned about fatherhood. So gotta find out where you get your music, and we want a tough lesson of fatherhood from Brother Khalif. I can't believe it's almost 5 o'clock. Y'all going in overtime.
Khalif, you want to answer your question first? Your question is a little more important.
There are some things in life that, like, you can't change or alter. There'll be situations that your children will have to go through in life, and all you can do is advise and be a shoulder to cry on sometimes. These last couple years, my kids have been dealing with death. One of my godsons lost their father, so I became their full-time father. You know, my daughters they had their first death, my actual children, my daughters and my son. So I learned as a father that, like, with all my power, some things in life they gonna have to go through. Like, all I can do is be there to be a helping hand, a guide. But at the end of the day, they gonna have to walk with God and get through it. So yeah, that's my toughest lesson so far, father.
And wait to, I think the other half of that was, where can they get that star from?
Uh, Star Star. It should be out on all platforms. The markets have changed so much, but you definitely can go look it up via YouTube and anywhere that you stream music. Yeah.
So, um, so the last question, probably going to be, I mean, we're going to, what I'm saying, tie this all in, but as men, and I hope I don't get canceled for saying this, but as men, I ain't worried about it. They can't cancel God. But anyway,
they can't stop.
Like as fathers, like how are y'all going about navigating society now? Because now sexuality is being normalized, and especially saying like homosexuality or being gay or lesbian or whatever you want to call it. Like far as like when it comes to your kids, like what type of conversations like are y'all having with them, and how you navigate, as fathers navigating, in that tough terrain?
So for me, that's a tough subject, because of the simple fact that who, as a father, who wants their son to come to them and say, "Hey, Dad, I got something to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gay." Like, how do you take that? You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa, your daughter coming into you and be like, "Oh, hey, I like girls and this and that and everything." My thing is this: we live in a world where, first of all, that's being put out, and it's being accepted and stuff like that and everything. But we also live in a world where the Christian community is doing a lot of Bible bashing. And the one thing that my problem with that is that everybody says follow the example of Jesus. Jesus wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Granted, everybody's like, "Oh, being gay, that's God's, that's sin the most is abomination." But at the same time, Jesus, that's in the Bible, but at the same time, Jesus said all sin is the same. Am I going to treat you any different because you're gay, or because you went to experiment, or because you're trying to figure yourself out? No, it's my job as a dad to not only be an example, but help guide you and figure out your journey. Because let's just say hypothetically, my son came to me and said, "Dad, I'm gay. This is what it's going to be." And he grows up, even though I've done my example to try to guide him path not being gay. This is the decision he makes for his life. He's going to be gay. He's not 20 years old. He's a full adult grown male. Right? I still have to love him the same. I'm not going to treat him any different. I'm not going to. I'm going to still use inspiring words and motivation like that. But children sometimes have to go through their own path, because life. There's some things as fathers we kids can't teach. Sometimes life is the best teacher, and God has made life the way it is, so we can learn from our own struggles, our own past, our own way. And if it's meant for God to be in my child's life, and I mean obviously it is. What I'm saying is, if it's meant for that path to be altered, God will find a way to do it. So as a father, you just do your part. Make sure you implement tools, because I'll tell you something. With my company, I learned that my senior vice president of my company told me. He said, "It's not your job to change your kid's life. It's your job to provide the tools for your kids to change their life, and it's their job to use them and make decisions. All you can do is provide the tools."
Yeah.
So with that situation being gay, when it comes to sex, when it comes to criminal activities, whatever negative path your child goes on, sure as a parent, you provide the tools so they can fix the situation or get themselves out of that negative situation, or not make the bad choice at all. And that's my view on it.
Look, Khalif out there having a seizure with his phone. I don't even know what he got going on. Like, but even navigating that, do you find yourself like monitoring like what they watch? You know what I'm saying, more or?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Because even now, everything on TV is pushing sex, pushing homosexuality, all that stuff and everything. And as a father, I have to protect my kids, you know. But at the same time, I'm not ignorant to the fact that, okay, you know, he's gonna grow up, and what is he gonna do with it? What are my children gonna do when they're not around me? We all know kids act differently not around their parents. You can't protect them for everything. Like I said, all you can do is do your part and let life do the rest. As long as you do your part as a parent and you gave your 100% best effort, you have to trust God in that situation to see how it goes.
Yeah, man, I definitely enjoyed your take on it. I have I still call him my son, but it's technically like my ex-wife's son. I mean, my ex-wife's son. He kind of dealing with, you know, a similar situation like that. That's a hard one to navigate, you know, to see him even to go through that. And like you said, like sometimes like as a parent, like you can't control your kids. I mean, I'm pretty sure just like me and you, I mean, my auntie who raised me talked to me till she was blue in the face, and I still made, you know what I'm saying, my own decisions and own choices. Right. And like you said, man, sometimes life is the best teacher. A lot of things that I've learned through the trials and tribulations that I went through in life, like I wouldn't have learned those had I not, you know what I'm saying, went through those. So sometimes, man, like you said, you just have to love them and show them that you still care for them. But also at the same time, you know, I'm not gonna say like remove your hands from them, but you got to kind of let them walk that own path. Mm-hmm. But I even then, you know what I'm saying, even when it comes to like compromise, or like it's still, for me, I'm like, I don't know if I could compromise. Mm-hmm. You know, like if my son was like, hey, like I want to get married, like I love you, but I probably would have to be like, I don't know if I can go to that, bro. Like, yeah. Well, and a lot of people struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it to where, you know, kids feel some type of way, or there've been whole arguments, you know what I'm saying, over that. It's like, I love you, but I also have to stand on, my faith and my belief in God. So
you said something good there. You don't have that. You say I love you, but I have to stand on my faith and stuff like that. And that's the key thing there. You don't have to compromise to show love. You can still stand on your.
You don't have to bash or any of that.
But that love, that's the unconditional part when it comes to the kids. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to compromise. You don't have to tend them and say, you say, hey, listen, if that's your choice, I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. This is what I stand on, and this is not what I taught you. You know. Yeah. But like I said, sometimes, even though you don't want to take your hands off your kids, those are rare situations you have to let go and let God sometimes, you know?
Hit that prayer closet.
Right.
Hit that prayer closet, boy. You know what I'm saying? Hit that prayer closet. I guess my last question for you is, what are some good qualities, and what are some, no, I don't want to say good and bad qualities, but what are some qualities as a father that you took from your parents that you use now when it comes to like your kids?
Okay.
And maybe, or some things that you've seen that your parents did, and you kind of like, nah, I'm gonna do that differently. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, I think I touched on that a little bit in the beginning, but I can elaborate a little more. Like, this is my dad and my mom now. Like I said, my dad, that being that authority figure, that providing for the household, that drive of having to work and take care of home. But another thing I learned from my dad, like I said earlier, I was a very sensitive kid growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't believe that because my persona now, but I was the kid that got picked on, you know, the stuff like that and everything, the whole elementary and middle school time frame until I got to high school and I started feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? But from my dad, I learned, you know how they say in the Bible, let how can I say? I want to paraphrase it, but it said I'm paraphrasing now. But basically somebody try you, turn the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? From my dad, I learned you only get one time to try me, one time to show me who you really are, and that's it. Basically, don't take no crap from nobody, because when you let people walk all over you one time, they'll do it forever. And my dad taught me that you can't let people walk all over you. You have to stand for something. You have to stand for yourself. And that's one thing I take for him, because my dad don't take no crap from nobody. But not in a disrespectful way, to the point of he knows who he is as a man. And can't nobody tear him down or tell him no different. And that sense of pride and that strength he has, he's imparted that on me, to the point where even though I was that kid where I was getting picked on and stuff like that, as I grew into a man, I became confident who I was as a black man, confident who I was as a husband, as a father, to the point nobody can't tear me down, you know what I mean? And for my mom basically turned me into who I am, from, my personality, the work ethic, teaching me how to work with my hands and stuff like that, teaching me how to be a good husband. She basically teaching me how to talk to girls. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, my mom taught me how to talk to girls in a respectful way. So now when I talk to my daughters, I can tell them this is how a man's supposed to approach you. You feel me? There's a lot more to that. I never run out of time and stuff like that. So I want to elaborate too long.
That's good. So the last thing, just there's a whole bunch of dads and people watching. Just kind of some advice that you would give I guess like a new dad who's beginning like the journey of parenting.
Be there. That's the biggest problem with parents of today. A lot of times in our personal situations and our jobs and our relationships and what we got going on take precedence over our kids. Like, granted, my kids don't live with me, but I have a set time through the courts that I'm supposed to get my kids. Not only do I make sure I get my kids every time, but my kids ever want any extra time with me, they get it, because I understand how important that time with your kids is. Now I'll put my kids on the back burner for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, my wife, but outside of that, what I'm saying, it's my kids all day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids I see in my neighborhood and in my school don't have their dads in their lives, and that's the main reason. I'm talking about boys and girls now, but that's the reason why I feel like our society is failing, because we have no dads and our boys' lives to teach them how to be the right kind of men. But then again, we have no dads in our daughters' lives to protect our daughters and protect these women and show them that this over-sexualized stuff and everything is not the way to treasure yourself and know that you are somebody's prize. You know what I'm saying? That you are a rose, that you are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's important. If you're a new dad, don't fall off. Be there for your kids, no matter what negativity comes your way, no matter what your situation is, no matter how bad your baby mama coming at you with the negativity and stuff like that. Don't make excuses. Be there for your kids. Period. That's it.
Man, dude, I enjoyed this, man. Like, I know we, we kind of ran out of time, but we definitely gonna have to do this again, man. Like, sure. This ain't gonna be the last time. So, man, I thank you again for taking time out, man, and I appreciate, just chopping it up and having a conversation.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me, boss, man. For real, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get you back, man. We gotta get this song going. Stop playing.
Oh, real quick. Answer that one question. March 21st, I'm gonna release New Breed. March 21st, I'm releasing the Distro Kid, so it's gonna be on all streaming platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Apple, all that stuff. So y'all be able to get it. Just if you need information from me, just go to my Facebook, www.facebook.com/TheUncool. That's TheUncool. T the Uncool. I love to have some new followers and support the movement, support the music and stuff like that. And just shout your boy out. You know what I'm saying? Show me some love.
All right, bro. I appreciate you, man. You enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man.
Yes, sir. And y'all be blessed. Be uncool, man.
Contradictions, you driving me insane. How you holy in the church, then Monday back in the world? You fake a dad, these baby dolls, boy, nothing but a Barbie girl. Dang, pastor stealing money. Quiet members, funny. I ain't pointing fingers, but homie, I'm not a dummy. Then you you sit around and judge me, acting like you above me. You can wear your Sunday's best, but your spirit's still ugly? What? Excuse me, won't follow your example. Nope. Don't want not even a sample. Nope. I'd rather be stepping high, being what God called me to be trampled. When these people see me, I want them to see God. I want them to see this new breed, not a fake, not a joke, a facade.
New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, descended from that old seed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm hyped up on that true seed.
Some Christians a joke, joke, but I ain't laughing. Y'all putting on the show, but I ain't clapping.
Hey, yo, what's a new breed though? Inquiring minds would like to know. Tell us what's the reason for your flow. Put us up on game, stop playing, bro.
A new breed is someone of God, showing real love, showing real care. Them people that really live in him, not fake like the weave in your girl's hair. You looking like, boy, don't go there. My spirit, man, he been here. Some of y'all just playing wrong like rich men getting welfare. Not gonna catch me half-stepping, nope. Selling out, nope. Living fake. Nope. I'm no different on other days than I am on any given Sunday. Cause ain't no stereotype, no gimmick. Homeboy, this is my life. I ain't lukewarm, I'm super hot. I'm trying to be all the way right. Woo! Excuse me, won't follow your example. Don't want it, not even a sample. I'd rather be stepping high, being what God called me to be trampled. When these people see me, I want them to see God. I want them to see this new breed, not a fake, not a joke, a facade.
New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. This